Yo guys, what's going on? It's Lewis here with Crypto Elite, and I'm gonna do a market update coming all the way from Colombia. And we got to do this market update because the markets have been on fire lately, and it's gonna be a good idea to see what's going on. And I'm gonna share with you my plans, like what I'm doing and everything like that. Also, I want to go through pretty much as many pairings on Bitcoin as I can. So alts against Bitcoin, just as many alts against Bitcoin as humanly possible over the next 2 hours or so, and check for setups, check for things, and also perhaps look for narratives. I think I should probably do that next time or after this, is just look for narratives in the market, because that's what's going to get you a lot of gains basically. First off, though, we're going to start off with Bitcoin and a big market cycle type deal, and then we're going to go into the total market cap, and then we're going to go into a bunch of other stuff. So let's get to it. First off, we got Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin cycle chart that I have up here, saying that 2025, sometime around September, is supposed to be when the next fourth cycle high is going to be, which means that if we started the bull run, let's say we started the bull run a couple weeks ago, then that would mean that from September, let's say September 2023 is when we started the bull run. That will be September to 2024, 2 years. It'll be 2 years of a bull run. And that seems about right. And even if you start it from, December of 2022 or basically January 2023, that's 2 years plus another a little bit more than half a year. So 2 3/4 of a year of a bull run from the low to what should be the high, somewhere up here. And yeah, it seems plausible that that's what's going to happen. And so the question is, are we going to get a retracement similar to how we got a retracement from 2019 down into 2020? We had a pretty big retracement. Personally, I don't think that we're going to. Last time though, if you do check, we had this huge bull run in 2017, right? And then 2018 it topped out and it fell down, and then it crashed down to $3,500 pretty much. And then it pumped all the way up, and then it came back down, and then March 2020 was the COVID crash. So yeah, I don't think that we're going to get this, a black swan event like this again. Obviously it's black swan, so you never know, but honestly at this point there's nothing really that seems likely that this will happen. But then again, like, nothing ever seems likely that's going to happen. That's why they're called black swans. However, if it does happen, then I will 100% be going in, probably just borrowing as much money as humanly possible and going in with everything that I can. But the last time that we did have a drop, this did drop around 53%. So from the top to the market cycle bottom, that was 80%, and then it rallied up, let's see here, rallied up 344%. So basically 350% is what it rallied up, from $3,000 to $14,000 basically. So let's just say it did a 3x from the bottom, and then it fell 50%. So if that happened now, then that would be around, it fell down to say 15K. So 15K to 45, it would be 45,000. That would be where it would stop, which actually lines up perfectly with this big area right here. And then a 50% drop would bring it down back to 22,000, which maybe let's get more exact with it. From the bottom to the top was 317. So let's see what happens if we go from the bottom to the top. 317. Okay, that would bring this over the new, that would bring this actually past the all-time high. Well, no, actually it wouldn't. It would bring it to the all-time high. So it would bring it to right here. It would bring it to $64,000 if it went up the same way how it went up from the bottom to the middle before the halving in 2019. 2018, 2019, basically. And then it fell, so then it would come all the way up here, and then it would basically fall, and then it would continue moving up. So that's if we get a repeat of last cycle, not last cycle, but I guess it was last cycle because this was the last cycle bull run, right? Did something else happen though? Let's see if that happened before. If we zoom in right here, what happened? We got the big move up, and then we got the low, and then back here there was not a 50% drop or anything like that. It was actually just simply up only from the bottom, and it just went up, 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 up. There were a few things. Let's check it right here. I guess there was a 40% drop. There was a 40% drop right there. And what type of drop was this? 40% drop. So there were 40% drops along the way of this 2017 market cycle, right? So there were a bunch of 40% drops, but overall, obviously you just want to buy the dips and hold it. You did not want to sell it in 2017. So that's probably going to be more like what happens this cycle, in my opinion, is that maybe we get, I don't know if we get 40% drops, but maybe, a 20% drop. That's definitely possible for sure. And maybe we go down to, 32,000 is really the biggest area that I see. And if we go into the other chart that I have right here, we actually started to just totally blow through the 38.2 fib of this entire move down, and the 61.8. We stalled a little bit, and we stalled right here and had a little bit of basically a moment of silence and a moment where we just stalled. But now, it's above it. It did not care. Like, that is, to me, that is super, 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 super crazy bullish. The fact that we did not get rejected off of this 61.8 from this fib from the top to the bottom, because that's the golden ratio. Like, this is where we should get rejected from, but like we aren't at all, really. And because of that, that just makes me feel even more bullish. And if you actually, let's go back to the weekly chart and let's just get rid of everything real quickly. You could see right here, if you look at these lines, right? And if they were up just a little bit, let's say they were right here at 31,000, 32,000. I wonder if I could actually bring that up. Yeah. So let's say that these lines right here, this was the bottom, and then it tapped it right there, retested it as resistance, and then, crashed. So resistance, and now we're above it, right? So if it comes back down to this area, this is an automatic buy. Absolutely, for me, like, this is probably the lowest that I see it coming down to. If it does, it might just giga chad all the way up. There's no reason for it to fall down right now. I really don't see any reason for it to do that. And we are above this resistance by quite a substantial amount. And the next resistance, yes, this $48,000 is resistance. $48,000 is a resistance. But up here, 65,000, really, that's the next resistance. Like, we're in this range. This is the bottom of the range, and this is the top of the range. This is the bottom of the range. And so once we come back up to here, let's say 60,000. Excuse me. Let's say $60,000 as the top of the range. Usually what happens is when we reclaim a range, we retest the top. So 60K is the area where it's probably heading. And if you, that's how you play ranges. So we had the range low right here, we had the range high right here, and then it fell down to the range low, it tapped it, moved up above the range high, and as soon as it fell back below the range high and closed, well, then we went all the way back down and we retested the bottom of the range. And then as we broke below the bottom, we retested it as a resistance and then, fell. So resistance, now we're up above it. So maybe we do come back down. I don't know, but it's not looking super probable that we'll actually touch this area. Not like, I think that if we do come back down, it'll be 32,500 will be the lowest that we're gonna see. And so yeah, that's Bitcoin. Now let's go down into the lower time frames and see if we could see anything. So we got first off we have the weekly, and I said if we see distribution in this area, then take a short hedge to hedge or target the lows. I don't know if I would short, but I would probably just sell. But that's if we see something in this area, right? But there's nothing to see right now. So go down into the daily chart. I mean, we're still in this huge uptrend. I was hoping that we would get a sweep of these lows, and then I was hoping that we would get a sweep of these lows. Nothing happened. So yeah, I'm still waiting. And now we're above. So the next place would be basically 35K, 35,500. So yeah, 35.5. That's the next area to look at, because that is, and I would say if we sweep here, okay, because that's the previous high, and basically it was basically high, low, break of the high, retest the previous high. So low, high, low, break of the high, maybe we retest the previous high at 35,000, 35,600 or something like that. All right. Okay, so basically, yeah, this is the trend line that we have going on the daily so far. And you could honestly, you could bring it down here. And so this area right here, it would be 35,500 is an amazing area to go long, because it's a cross of both the horizontal support and the diagonal support. So yeah, that's what I would think would be the best area to start putting in some longs, although we already tested it technically. Like, we came up and then we had this big wick candle, this doji candle, and we tested it. So there's not much that you could really, or that I see. Let me check. We're getting some bearish indications on the RSI, and some bearish indications on the MACD. So things are looking like bearish on the indicators, but this is only a few percent. It's 4%. So if 4% is a big deal, then I would, act accordingly. But otherwise, it doesn't seem like I wouldn't want to sell. Like, I still wouldn't want to sell. I would just want to buy more down here if I could. Okay, so now let's move on to Ethereum. So for Ethereum, what do we have? Well, this is the fib from the top to the bottom. This right here is the 61%. So this right here at 2,500, this is where Bitcoin is on the, actually it's a little bit above it, to basically 2,600. This is like the area where Bitcoin is, and Ethereum is all the way down here. So you could say that Ethereum is the laggard of Bitcoin, and like Bitcoin is really like moving and leaving Ethereum in the dust, which is pretty much what has been happening for a really long time now, as you could tell from the Ethereum against Bitcoin charts. And technically, this is a bearish retest of this horizontal, support zone. So it's very difficult to say if Ethereum is going to come back and enter this zone. It's worrisome because, we have this huge line diagonal, and we have this huge line, this huge horizontal, which, tapped, tapped over here and then deviation, and now it's like, are we getting a second deviation, or is it just gonna like come up and then just like continue to fall back and fall all the way down into this monthly bullish order block and this weekly bullish breaker? Obviously right here at 4175 sats, that's the best area that I see to buy Ethereum. Well, it is and it isn't. I guess this is because if it falls down that much, then it would be a good buy. But at the same time, I want to check where that is on the Fibonacci level. Oh, okay. So yeah, this actually is, because this is the 61.8 of this. Yeah. Okay. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. I sort of think that Ethereum is going to continue to fall until right here. This is the best area to buy Ethereum, in my opinion. So I just want to plot that out and write this in. The 61.8 plus weekly breaker plus bullish order block. Okay. So there's like a lot of reasons to get in, like right here. This is where I would put something. I'll put a rocket ship here just to remind me. And yeah, so if it comes in there. However, I mean, I am long Ethereum from a few hours ago, because we had, well, hold on a second. Where's this daily chart? Right here. We have this up move before the down move that broke the market structure right there. So this is a bearish order block. And what happened is we tapped the bearish order block and then fell back down. And then we had this run through it, complete big run through it. And so now that becomes a bullish breaker. And now we're back down into this bullish breaker, which also coincides with this bullish order block right here, which is the down move or the up move that broke this market structure. So this area right here is probably, I think I'm going to close my long that I took, that I basically just took it from like right around here, and I will long it more like right here. I'll long it right here, and I'll have to decide on this one, just because Ethereum does have the narrative now of the Ethereum ETF coming out, so that you could see a shift. Either way, I'm sure Ethereum will stop being such a laggard, and it will eventually come up and do very, very well. When it comes to ETH against the dollar, this is the next buy zone is pretty much 1920, because that is this bullish order block right here. So I will get rid of this. And I mean, it is also pretty close to this resistance. And typically what we've been seeing is a fall back down into the resistance, which is used as support, and then a big move up. So we have, let's check it out, see where that is. Well, I mean, it's right here. So we have resistance, 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 break above, retest the resistance as support, and then a big move up. So maybe we come back down and hit this for Ethereum. So we got that. And then for Ethereum against BTC, I would say that right here is probably the better area to long, as opposed to right now. Also, let me double check. What's the fib on here? Yeah. I'm going to close out my long for Ethereum, and I'm going to long it right here at 5442 instead, because this is the 61.8, and it's the bullish order block, and it's part of this entire move anyway. So I'm going to do that. So give me 1 second. Anyway, so that was the ETH against Bitcoin chart. I think that down here is a better area, and I think that ETH against USD, this is what I'm thinking for ETH against USD, is that we come back down to the 61.8 and rally up from there. So that is that. Okay, so I just finished Aave, put the alerts in on both of these trend lines. Yeah, there is an opportunity right here actually to go long on it because this is technically this is the bullish order block, and it is at this major support level. So it's possible. Here we go. It is possible, and it's at the 61.8. So I would, if there was a narrative around Aave, I would probably buy it right now, like switch out some Bitcoin for it. But I don't really know of a narrative around it, so I'll just wait a little bit. Let's go to Cardano though. So we have Cardano. Let's look at the weekly chart for Cardano, and Cardano has just been in a total downtrend against Bitcoin. Started off right here in March and had a really nice rally, 200% over Bitcoin's rally, right? And then it fell below and had this total fake out. Just like this was really, really difficult to trade from down here to up here, because this looked like it was definitely going to be going much lower, and then just popped up, and yeah, that was difficult. Anyway, now we're back down here, and lows, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low. So we have yet to actually get a higher low on Cardano. So technically, the one thing, like the only good thing is that we finally made a high above this previous bearish order block, which now turns us into a bullish breaker, which is good. And if you look back, we haven't really done that in a while. Yeah, I don't see. We have not done that in a very long time, actually, on the weekly time frame. Like I don't see it at all, ever. So yeah, that's good news, is that Cardano finally had a big enough pump, over Bitcoin, went up 20% more than Bitcoin did over the last 2 weeks. And because of that, now we have this weekly bullish breaker right here. So this was the up move or the down move that broke the market structure to the downside. And when this candle closed above it, now that becomes a bullish breaker. And let's go down to the daily. So let's go down to the daily and see what's inside of here. Well, there's this right here. This right here is the daily bullish order block. So this is the down move or the up move that broke this market structure, and all of this market structure back here as well. So which was on the weekly, right? So this actually seems like a really solid area to get in. Let's check the fib as well. So this is more so the 50% fib. If this area lined up with the 61.8, I would like it a lot more. But either way, this would be a good trade setup for me. Is like if the price came down here and it wiped out some of these lows, like this low, swept that low, and then rallied from there, and then broke this trend line. That would be really amazing for Cardano against Bitcoin. And I do like this area as well, because not only is it everything that I just mentioned, but also you could see that it's technically this right. Well, no, it's really this. There's really this whole area. This was a deviation, basically. This was a liquidity hunt, and then back into the support. Boom, boom, boom. Support. All the support right here, and then it broke down, retested, crashed, retested as resistance, went up, and retested as support, and then bumped back up. So if we come down, this is the top of that support area. So, or a little bit above the top of the support area. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good. This is a pretty decent trade setup in my opinion. So I will put this on like this, and then target new highs. So if this is the start of the bull run, then that's what it would be like, and I would probably target right here as my first, and then my second target would be probably up here would be target 2, would be 100% of this move. And this, if this did do this, it would actually create a really good, basically an over-under pattern. So it would be like under, over, retest, and that's, yeah. All right, so this is solid. So I'm gonna put some alerts in and see what we could do. Let me go down to the 12 hour so it's a little bit more clear. And yeah, I'm gonna put some alerts in and be right back. Okay, so next up we have Algorand. And for Algorand, once again, had this huge run up, 400% more than Bitcoin last cycle, and then just completely crashed and just fell below the lows, retested the lows, and then just slowly drip down. And now finally we had this super bullish candle right here. So this was a really good candle followed by another really good candle. So this move down followed by this candle followed by this move up is super bullish, and now we're actually putting in another really bullish candle. There's about 18 hours left before this week ends. So that is, it's tomorrow it's going to be ending. But if this looks like this, ALGO honestly might be a buy. In fact, this looks really good. This looks better than the last two. So I'm going to put a little green box right here. And I will say that honestly, if this comes back down into this area, that is a buy for me. I want to buy it right now, but I am trying to be like more careful with my buys when it comes to Bitcoin. However, look at this. You could put this trend line right here. Okay, so we have a trend line. We have a giant move down. We have a wick down to basically stop everyone out. And now we're moving up. And let's see here. We had this up move for the down move that broke the market structure, and then we sort of just plummeted right through it. So this right here it should have bounced right here. Well, I mean it did, but then it crashed below it, which is not good. But now we're back above it. So yeah, this looks wishy-washy for sure. But this area is a clear support area. I mean, 4 bounces actually, and then when we broke through it, it went super hard, and then we rallied all the way back above it, and then basically acted as support one more time. So either I want to wait for this to break. If this breaks, then I would want to go in for sure. Or if this comes back down, then I would want to go in if it comes back down here. So that is probably what I'm going to do. And let's check out ALGO against Tether and see what we have with that. So on the weekly chart, ALGO from the previous bottoms went up 3,000%. Crazy, right? And now it's just been down. Same thing like it's been against Bitcoin, just basically down only. However, now, let me get rid of all of this stuff actually. Let's see, this was the main right here. This was the main level. Then we had the deviation below it. and then the retest. So let me just do this. Right there. So yeah, honestly, I think that once it's above here, that's when it might just like rocket up. That would be the most interesting spot, is once it's back above this 0.1958. There might be a, something there to say, oh, well, why not just get in now because it's on its way. And yeah, you could say that coming back to this, where we are right now. We had this move right here, up move for the down move that broke the market structure, and then that became a bullish breaker. So we retested it, go down to the daily time frame. What do we have now? We have this. This is honestly, this is not bad. ALGO, I think ALGO is looking better. So yeah, ALGO BTC, and now there's ALGO against USDT, which is looking pretty solid as well. ALGO might continue to make a run for it. I sort of want to go hard into ALGO, but it's gonna be a second. I need to figure this out real quick. Okay, so I just went into ALGO. I like it. On the BTC chart, I waited and I waited and I waited, and it looks like it's breaking out. There's still, a long time for it to come up and close above this trend line for the Bitcoin pair. But if it does, then I would be very interested in buying it. So this would be, that's what I would do. And then hopefully there would be a wick down into here, and then, a big move up, or it would just close here and then just immediately, pump up. But I definitely have an order in on ALGO. So I'll say ALGO, BTC, check charts. And yeah, I will keep you updated with that. So then we have Anchor. So look at Anchor against Bitcoin. Absolutely horrible. This one is one that I don't even want to look at all because it's just so bad. You could tell. You could just look at it and see, like, why would you touch this, Now let's take a look at Atom. So we got Atom here. Atom against Bitcoin is one of the only, well, not one of the only ones, but like maybe, that actually did not run the January 2021 low. What happened with Atom in January of 2021? Because this was the time when everything was popping off. I mean, obviously it ended up popping off and doing an 645% gain over Bitcoin from the bottom to the top, which is nuts. So maybe Atom or Cosmos has something up its sleeve. Obviously, right here is the lows. So I would say like right around here, this whole area. So once it comes back up above here, if it falls, if it does this like up, then you could buy it and then target here, or even target the top. There's a lot. I wouldn't target the top. I would probably just target here. But yeah, this would be the area for what I would look for. Atom. Let's look at what Atom is looking like on the USD chart. On the USD chart, Atom has this weekly bullish order block right here. So let's bring this back. So we have the up move before the down move that broke the market structure. Then we got a SFP. Then we got a move up. So I was wanting this to come back down to tag it right here. It never did. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But let's see if we got anything else going on. How about any type of trend line? Obviously, we got this trend line break right here. So this is probably what's going to happen with the Bitcoin pair. What I'm hoping is going to happen with the Bitcoin pair is that we get the trend line break and then boom, just off to the races. Shit, this was a perfect, actually, damn, no, this was perfect. This was a perfect entry right here because look at this. We had a double bottom, an amazing weekly double bottom followed by a trend line break. That's exactly what you want to see. This is literally exactly what you want to see, followed by a 30% move up. So yeah, that's unfortunate that I missed that one, but this level right here is a key level. This entire level right there, this is huge. So I would probably buy it if it comes back down here at this point, because I don't think it's going to come back down to here. That would be way too generous. But if it does come back down to 8.85, that would be a solid buy. So let me go down to the daily chart and maybe, okay, so this is what I'll say for this. I'll say this right here is the daily bullish order block, and take the fib 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Like it's just, yeah, it's just up only. So maybe this is the 61.8 for this. It is, which is great. So we have not gotten, it's probably been front ran. This is probably what this was. This is a front. Oh man, this is making it difficult because it's like this candle, there's still 16 hours to go, so you can't really use this candle, so scratch that, what I was about to say. But this candle is extremely bullish. There's only 4 more hours to go for this one, and I doubt that it's gonna result in it going all the way back down to this area, you know? Okay, and so I want to do more, I want to keep on going through more charts, right? But I can't, I need to go to sleep because it's 4 in the morning. So much potential going on right here. So much potential. So yeah, I have to do this. I'll do it tomorrow. So I'll see y'all guys later. And stay tuned for the few videos that are coming up. They're really good.